All right, let's talk about ambition in Web3. You see a lot of projects out there, but few are as massively ambitious as Gala. We're not just talking about a single game or some music app here. No, they're aiming for a full-blown entertainment empire on the blockchain. So the big question is, can they actually pull something like that off?
And that really gets to the art of it, doesn't it? Can one single platform, one ecosystem, truly become a master of games, music, film, and finance all at the same time? I mean, is that even possible? Or is this just a classic case of ambition getting way ahead of reality? That's the puzzle we're really going to dig into today.
So, to really get what Gala's mission is all about, we have to first understand the problem they were trying to solve in the first place. And it's a big one, something you see all over the Web3 world: fragmentation.
I mean, just think about it for a second. For years, we've seen all these Web3 projects, especially in gaming, right? And they all kind of exist in their own little bubbles. Each one has its own token, its own little community, but their impact, it often feels pretty small, super isolated, and just totally disconnected from everything else going on. So Gala's solution to this whole mess, it's pretty radical actually. Instead of building yet another one-off app, their vision was to create this massive, interconnected world, an ecosystem where games, music, film, and even finance all live side by side, running on the exact same foundation. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does a vision that huge actually work in practice? Let's peel back the layers and look at the structure of the Gala ecosystem. It's basically built on 4 huge pillars, but they all rest on one single foundation.
And that foundation is called GalaChain. It's their very own Layer 1 blockchain. Now, what that means is they built it from the ground up, specifically for Web3 entertainment. And here's the really crucial part. This gives them independence. By having their own chain, they're not at the mercy of other networks. They can tweak and optimize everything for exactly what they need to do.
All right, let's talk pillars. The first, and probably the one you've heard of, is Gala Games. This is their bread and butter where it all began. We're talking about games like the farming sim Townstar and the big fantasy RPG Mirandus. And the whole point behind them is true digital ownership of your in-game stuff.
Then, pillar number 2, Gala Music. Now, this is not just another Spotify. It's a platform with hundreds of artists, but here's the twist. Fans can actually earn rewards just by listening and supporting their favorite music. You can even own a piece of a track as an NFT and share in the artist's success. Pretty cool, right? Next up, we've got Gala Film. And again, this isn't just talk. They're actively making original content, and they've already locked in real-world distribution deals. We're talking actual cinema screenings. It's a really interesting attempt to build a bridge between the world of Web3 and traditional Hollywood. And finally, the 4th pillar, which is kind of the engine that powers the whole thing: native DeFi. This is the financial layer. It includes tools like GalaSwap, which is their decentralized exchange for trading tokens, and GalaPump, a launchpad for new projects. It's all built right in to keep the economy of this digital nation humming. And this is where you really see how it's all designed to work together. Because GalaChain is the foundation, it's built to make everything seamless. We're talking fast transactions, predictable gas fees that you pay with the Gala token, and built-in support for all the NFTs and DeFi tools that the other pillars need. It really is meant to be a one-stop shop. Okay, so that's the blueprint. And you gotta admit, it's massive. It's super ambitious. But is any of it actually happening? Is it real? Let's shift from the idea to the action and see if Gala is actually shipping products and making real progress. And it looks like the answer is yeah, they are. Back in 2025, they launched their full DeFi stack, wallet, DEX, the whole shebang, and that started driving actual activity on the chain. Then, by early 2026, they built a TCC-compliant bridge. Now, that's a really big deal. It's basically the technical key they need to try and access the massive and very regulated Chinese gaming market. And they're still building, constantly adding new features like live streaming to their launchpad. So yeah, they're definitely not just sitting around. But hold on, a huge vision and a busy development team, well, that doesn't automatically equal success, right? The reality is, Gala is facing some pretty enormous challenges and a super competitive market. And this is where things get really interesting from a strategy perspective. You see, Gala is making a huge bet on being the all-in-one ecosystem, the one-stop shop for all things Web3 entertainment. But here's the catch. Their competitors are specialists. They're projects that are laser-focused on being the absolute best at just one thing, whether that's gaming or music or DeFi. And that all-in-one strategy, it comes with some serious risks. First off, are they spreading themselves too thin? I mean, trying to build 4 giant pillars at the same time is a huge undertaking. Can a jack of all trades really go head-to-head with a master of one? Then you throw in tricky things like international regulations and the community that can be, well, pretty polarized. You've got believers on one side and frustrated users on the other. But honestly, the biggest risk of all is that this amazing story, this grand narrative, just doesn't translate into people actually using the platform every day.
Which brings us right to the finish line. Vision versus reality. At the end of the day, can this massive, super appealing story actually create real, deep, long-lasting adoption?
There's a quote that just nails this whole situation perfectly. A broad narrative does not always equate to real adoption. And that's so true. Think about it. It's one thing to design and build a beautiful, sprawling city, but it's a completely different challenge to convince people to move in, set up shop, and actually live their lives there.
So, what's the bottom line? It's this. Gala's success isn't going to be measured by how many pillars it has on a slide deck. It's going to be measured by how many people are logging in every day to play the games, listen to the music, watch the films, and use the DeFi tools. It all comes down to deep, real, sustained engagement.
And that leaves us with one big final question to think about. Gala has laid the foundation and built the skyscrapers for a massive digital metropolis. But will it become a thriving, bustling digital nation full of active people? Or will it end up as a beautiful but mostly empty city? The future of this whole experiment really depends on one thing. Can they get real people to show up? And more importantly, to stay?